you might ask the question, when do you get a break? When do you take some time off to have some of this earthly fun? My answer to that, why do you need a break from doing what is truly fun? What is fun? Well, guys, to you guys, fun is definitely not something directly mentioned in the Bible. That's one thing for sure. At least from what I heard from Jaden, you won't find the 3 letters F-U-N in the Bible. I didn't know that, but apparently you won't. It's probably because it's a new modern day word, just like how dinosaurs aren't in the Bible, but instead they're referred to as dragon, but like as dragons. But like, what is fun? And that's what we're going to be going over in this video, is what should be fun versus what these worldly concepts of fun is. And from both my experience as going through school and games and Fortnite and all that stuff, and Jaden's experiences of school, and then my dad over here been through life, so he has some actual experiences for you guys who are probably older than us, or you who are probably older than us. But one thing I want to say is fun is the one key concept of fun is definitely when your mind isn't wandering, when your mind is actually present in the moment. And this right now, I'd say this is fun because the only thing I'm thinking about is the words I'm speaking through my mouth right now. I'm not thinking about anything else. And that is probably the peak experience of human life, is when you aren't thinking about anything else. It's when you're reading your Bible and you're not thinking about anything but the words you're reading. And sometimes we always don't get that when we read our Bible in the morning. I know, Jaden, you spoke about that. Like, it's hard to stay concentrated when you just woke up to read the Bible, especially when waking up like 4 a.m. and stuff. Like, it's hard to stay concentrated, but that is some of the, like, that is a peak experience of human life, is actually being able to do something and do it presently. And so many people don't do that, and I'm guilty of that. We all are guilty of not being present in the moment. But when you're speaking like this right now, you're more present when you're speaking than when you're listening. Like, for me, I find it hard when we're recording these videos to presently listen, because I'm always tempted to think about other things and think about what I'm going to say next, and that makes the whole conversation feel like less authentic, because I'm always thinking about saying what's next, and I'm not really I'm not really jumping off of what my brother or something said. So overall, to start off this video, I think one thing we should use as a foundation in this video is that the happiest times in our life is when we're present in the moment, no matter what we're doing. And the one thing is why so many people are depressed nowadays is because the one moment when they're not present in the moment is when they're commuting to their job or something. And that takes up so much of their day too. Commuting to your job, how can you be present in the moment when you're commuting to your job? You're sitting on a bus, you're not going to be present in the moment, like trying to, like, you're going to go on your phone or something, you're going to think about something else. And that, like, there's certain situations that this world gives us that we are unable to be present in the moment, and that sucks. But the goal here is to always be present in the moment, because, and I think you have a scripture on that, if you want to say that right now.
I think one scripture that comes to mind is Matthew 6:34. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry of itself. There's enough problems as it is in the day already. And that's basically living present in the moment. But also, what does fun mean? You know, the word fun isn't really mentioned a lot or at all in the Bible, right? But Psalm 118:24 says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." The psalmist encourages us to find joy and have fun each day, as every day is a gift from God. We should approach each day with a grateful heart, seeking opportunities to rejoice and be glad in the present moment. So basically, from what I take from this is that you got to find joy. You got to find joy and have fun each day. You got to find that. Every day that we're given is a gift from God, because we do not know. If we're present in the moment, right, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. That's why Jesus said himself, do not worry about tomorrow, because you don't know. Just because you're here right now, just because you're watching us right now, right, you're watching me talk right now, it doesn't mean you'll be able to do this again. Every day changes. Every day changes, like the seasons. You know, not every day is going to be the same. If every day was the same, then it'll be a very boring, less fun type of life, right? There wouldn't be any special days, right? So, you know, being present in the moment is a gift from God. The ability to be right here, right now is a gift from God. It's a moment that was given to you, and what you do with it is on you. But the word fun can be interpreted in so many ways. It's just as human beings, right? We have so many things that we do throughout the day, and not everything we may consider fun. We may not even have fun for days, weeks, and months until we actually have a moment that we want to you know, gather with other people and maybe go into a restaurant, having a good time eating with family or friends, having a conversation about drama. Might be considered fun, right? That's not my kind of fun, but you know, everybody does their own thing, and you know, sometimes we may not, for what you might do, I might not really consider it something amazing, but who am I to tell you what you're doing wrong, right? I'm only going to tell you. So basically, I'm only a vessel for the light. Right? And my goal is to hopefully reference God in everything I do so that maybe I can inspire you in what you do in your life. I'm not here to critique you or anything like that. I'm just here to just show you what I do as I live my life. And if you're inspired by something like that, all credit goes to God, right? All credit goes to the Most High. So for me, fun to me, when I'm in the moment, is working out. When I'm working out, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm at the gym, and people are seeing me, and they come up to me, and they're like, "Wow, that's incredible what you do. I don't think I ever seen a day where you just don't do what you do." And you're absolutely right, because I'm actually present in the moment. It may be only 5 minutes, it may be only 10, but I am sweating, and I'm actually present in the moment, and I feel in tuned with myself when I'm doing that. That to me is fun, or one of my funs. But I go about the day pretty much living this scripture right here, you know, encouraging myself to find the joy in each day and accepting it as a gift from God, because I have a whole lot to be thankful for when it comes to life, you know. And it is fun when I'm encouraging others, when I'm talking to you guys, when I'm actually seeing, you know, you guys grow in the moment. I'm seeing you guys grow and reflecting off of me as an example, as someone who you can look up to. But all credit goes to the Most High, because if you guys are changing lives and growing up, and then I know that what God has encouraged me to do as a parent is working, because none of this is by me, or none of this is by fault. Everything we do has a purpose, and if my purpose is to help you guys grow, and also grow myself by seeing you guys grow, because if you guys are growing and you guys are doing big things, then that's encouraging. And there's nothing better than seeing, you know, yourself grow, because your kids are growing, they're inspiring you. So that to me is a good way to have fun.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have, because living, I heard this once from an author, his name's Tim Ferriss, but I said this to you before, is that your every day should be like your average Tuesday. Therefore, that your daily schedule should be some of the funnest times in your life. Like, it shouldn't just be you looking forward to the weekend. It should be you looking forward to every day. And it being just so fun to you, so pleasing to you to just go throughout your day and actually make progress, like actually work out, all that stuff. And that should be some of the funnest times. Like, you should be having fun every single day. And now it sounds like we're saying fun a lot in this video, but fun as in you should be having a pleasant time every single day, just going throughout your life, because your life should not be like, if you are sad going throughout your life because you're working all day, or because you're working out all day, going to the gym all day, you have to fix that mindset. It's not the activities that you're doing. It's you have a mindset that you're always looking forward to something instead of just looking forward to the moment. Like, I heard this also from a video where it's like this guy, he said that how he was taking like a hot shower and he was thinking about like what he's gonna do next. And instead of thinking about that, he realized that he should actually be thinking about the moment that he's in right now. Like, he should enjoy the hot shower that he's taking and be grateful for that, instead of thinking about the meeting that he's gonna have with his employees next. I think because he was excited about working, but he thought to himself that even though he's excited about looking forward to a productive activity, he's still not living in the moment. And another thing I heard, I saw a post from before, is that the moment is really all you have. Like the past, you don't have that anymore. The past is gone, and the future is to come. But the only thing you have is right now, the moment that you are now living in. That's the only thing that you can make change. You can't change the past, and the future, you don't know what's to come. But the moment is the only thing that's in your control. You can change that right now by doing what you have to do right now. And it's kind of also surreal that just to think about how 5 seconds ago I was talking about this same concept, but I was saying a different sentence, and I didn't know what I was gonna say next. But yeah, I'm still talking right now. It's like to think about how just to think about living in the moment, and to think about how we look forward to the future so much. Yet when the future comes and we start living in that moment, we don't look forward to it anymore. And this quote from Alex Hormozy that I said this to you once, Dad, that you've already achieved things that made you happy. And that is like I've already achieved things that the quote goes, you've already achieved things that you said was going to make you happy, and then yet you're not happy. And why is that? It's because you're not living in the moment. You're always looking forward to things that you said was gonna make you happy. That right there is why you're not happy. It's because you're always looking forward to it instead of just being happy in the moment. So an example is, honestly, Christmas is a good example for this, for a lot of kids, and for me especially when I was younger, is that when December starts, or like late November after Thanksgiving, and you see all the commercials on TV about Christmas and stuff, you always you're looking forward to Christmas because you say this will change your life. You say that the things that you're gonna get, the gifts that you're gonna get, when we really should not be taking gifts from any man. To be honest, the Bible talks about that in the book 1 Samuel. Says Samuel he said when he was talking to the people, he said that you can't accuse him of taking any bribes, any gifts from any man, because he didn't. But we should we shouldn't really be doing that. But in this day we can, because of Jesus Christ. He died for us. But back to the concept of Christmas, that we always, every single year, we look forward to Christmas because we say it's going to change our life, and because we say it's going to make us so happy. But then when you really think about it, when Christmas comes, it's like you thought it was going to be better than that. And it's like it wasn't really the best Christmas because you thought, but next Christmas will be the best Christmas.
Yeah, well, I was listening to my brother talk. He kind of reminded me of a specific time when I was, and I think something we can all say is, it's very hard sometimes to live in the moment, because once again, you're always thinking about what's going to happen the next day, or what's going to happen a week from now or a month from now. You're always thinking about that. It's hard, but you should also always try to live in the moment. But when our Christmas break from school, when we were having it was about 2 weeks long, a very long time, and I had this topic paper I had to write for one of my teachers in school, and almost the whole 2 weeks I was always thinking about this paper, when am I gonna write it, or how should I start writing it. And instead of because we were doing some fun things as a family together, and through all those times I was always thinking about how am I gonna get this done, or when should I start writing this, always just thinking about that, not living in the moment. And the next thing I knew, we were back at school already. The whole 2 weeks just flew by, and I was like, dang. I kind of thought about it. I was like, dang, I thought this winter break was gonna last a lot longer than this. I thought it was gonna be amazing and last so much longer. And I felt like the only day I remembered was probably Christmas, because the other days I was just consistently thinking about this topic paper, or I was also thinking about the idea of, dang, after these 2 weeks we have to go back to school and everything's gonna go back to normal. Thinking about those times of going back to school, or how am I going to get this thing I have to do for school done. And so I just wasn't living in the moment, and so I could have enjoyed it more if I was living in the moment. And that's why it's always important to try your best to live in the moment, and try to enjoy the time you have right now. for example, like this time, this weekend, we have kind of off. My dad and my mom have been off, and I've been enjoying every one of these days. Like, I haven't felt like they've flown by, because through all these days, I've been living in the moment. My sister's birthday was just on 2 days ago, Friday, and I was enjoying it. It was I didn't feel like the day just flew by. I feel like I had a good time, and that's what you got to do, is like, you just got to try to live in the moment. And yeah, it's definitely a lot better when you do, because I feel like when I get that idea of like someone telling me that, or like now speaking about it, especially when you get that idea, you actually want to try to live in the moment, and you tend to see how much better things feel when you actually do. And that's just, it's very powerful to live in the moment, be present right now, because like the script, like you said about the scripture and all, and tomorrow's never guaranteed. So if you live today like you live today how you would live every other day, and just live in the moment, it's just amazing. But I think what we can get into now, though, I don't know if you guys are on board with this, but I think we should definitely get into some of our personal examples of fun and how to have it.
All right, so like an example of something I like doing is I like having some of the best times that I have are on my own. Some of the best times that I have are when I can be in the midst of many people, but if I'm in my own mind and observing and just having thoughts, right? That to me is as simple as it sounds, because it's very simple. It's very simple to just sit and think. It's very simple to just sit and observe, because you give yourself the time to actually think about what your next word is going to be. And when we are just talking through our lips, right, it doesn't make any sense. But when you actually say something that you thought about saying before you said it, right, you can actually help others in that sense and help yourself, because active listening is something good to have, to be able to actually talk, but also listen to yourself and actually observe and see how people are actually taking it all in. That to me is fun. When I'm having a conversation with a friend, or when I'm actually meeting somebody, I just unlocked somebody. I just unlocked a new friend, right? A new chapter in the moment. That to me is fun. Meeting people. I could actually talk for days.
Like that dream you had and you told us about it. It was pretty fun.
It's sometimes that's the best moment, is to be able to talk about something, right, that you can relate to others with, because we are meant to talk with each other as humans. We're meant to actually explore together. We've done so much together in history that a lot of it has happened together. None of them has happened by yourself. Like, if we look back in history, a lot of the good things that this world has been through it together, right? So to me, that's fun. I mean, that's one of my examples, is being able to just sit back and be in the zone and think about what I'm going to say next, and just being able to observe. It's like everything stopped for me, because I purposely like to not look at time. I do not like looking at time. I might have a watch on my wrist, but it doesn't mean I actually wear it on my wrist.
Very ironic.
I may have a watch on my wrist, but it doesn't mean on my wrist, but it doesn't mean that I actually wear it on my wrist. So what does that mean? That means that this doesn't dictate how my day goes. This doesn't dictate how my moment is going to be. This doesn't do any of that. It doesn't control me. If anything, I control it. I make it work the way I want it for it to work. If I look at time, I'm looking at it because maybe I'm pressed for time. Maybe I'm in a hurry for whatever I may have in the agenda. But if I want to slow time down, if I want to slow it down, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Because that's the only limit you're gonna have, is when you look at it. When you look at it, now it controls you. So when I'm like doing something like work, right, which is not fun. Come on, let's be honest. Working is not fun. Doing in school, I'm pretty sure they don't find that fun. making a project, doing a project, you're probably gonna put it for the last thing you do. You know, that's not fun. That's not fun. So what do I do when I'm at work and like it feels like it feels like the day has been long, right? But that's because at one point I looked at time and I saw, oh my goodness, all this happened and it's only 11 o'clock. Are you crazy? That's when I just messed myself up. It demotivates me. It demotivates you 100%. But if I do not look at time and I just continue to just do, like the hamster on the hamster wheel, it just continues to keep going. It continues to keep going. That hamster is gonna have the best fun. Sometimes you got to think about it like that. Are you a hamster on a hamster wheel, or something else? I don't know.
Sometimes we probably think, like we look at our animals.
Guys stand at the clock.
Like we probably think to ourselves, we look at our animals and we're like, dang, they're probably boring. They don't have anything to do, but like they don't know about time.
They don't know about time.
It's probably fun for them, because like they don't know about anything about time.
One day. The cats, they eat at 5 a.m. They go to snap. It's time to eat again.
It's time to eat again. Like it's like, how can it be boring for them if they don't? Like you can't miss what you never had.
You can't. And one thing, and I'm gonna give it back to you, is that a day with so many gaps. Meaning you don't know what you're gonna do, right? Is a day that you're probably not gonna have fun. So, like, I like having a productive day. In my eyes, a productive day requires going to the gym, going to work, after work, chilling for a little bit, whether that may be playing a game or two or talking to somebody, and then after that, probably maybe work out a little bit, do something extra, To me, that's a productive day. Sitting down to actually eat and then maybe watch a video or two while I'm eating, that to me is a productive day. That may not be your productive kind of day, but that to me is a productive kind of day. And most importantly, I almost failed to even put this in here. Reading my Bible is a productive day. Can't go a day without reading that, because that helps me understand the day better, because it kind of puts everything into perspective for me. But yeah, that to me is an example of having a good time in the day. It's simple, but it works.
You know what the whole episode is about? What is fun and how to have it. So I think definitely what we should mention here is fun. But I think we mentioned this earlier too. Is like fun can be different for anybody. Like there's different types of fun for people. Like. Your fun is he loves reading books. Maybe our fun isn't we don't love reading books. His fun maybe, he loves, like old school stuff, retro stuff. Our fun may not be that, but it's still fun. So there's different types of fun for everybody. But what there's only two types of is there's good fun and then there's bad fun. In my eyes, it's like there's levels to it of like, you can be having fun and being, and it's fun in a way where it's not really harming anybody. And there's bad fun in the sense of like, okay, this could be, harming yourself or harming people around you, is what I kind of want to, throw out there just so you guys can understand that. And like he also said before, is, when we mention stuff, we're not saying it to critique you or to tell you you're doing wrong or to tell you that your type of fun is wrong, because that's not at all what we're saying. So what my example could be is jumping back to like a year ago, or honestly my whole life before, I feel like this year a little bit, is one example I would give is I would play games for countless hours with my friends. Once again, I wasn't even looking at time, so it was just like I would just play games all day basically, and that's not bad. That's okay, you're playing games. I mean, I don't think you should be playing games all day, but playing games like that idea of just playing games isn't bad. But what is bad is that when I would play with my friends playing these games, it would be less about the game and more about talking about things not having to do with the game, which therefore was, what I'm gonna say is like it would be more so whether it's about talking about people, whether it's talking bad about people or saying, the people in the party I was in would be, saying curse words. And so it was just less about the game and more about just like all these other things that really, like, it was just, to me, like, I knew it was bad because I'm like, oh wow, like, they're cursing or like they would make fun of somebody in the party and that person would probably stop talking. And like, if you really just think about that, like, is that really even like, is that like, that's kind of messed up if you think about it. It's not really fun. When you play in a game, you should have fun. And it was less about that, more of like arguing about something, and it was like less about even the game at all. It's like we might as well just like close out the game and just be in the party and just talk to each other, because it was less about the game. So it was like that wasn't really fun. And now, especially being like a believer, it's like when I think back to that, it's like how did I even have fun doing that? How did I have fun? Like we would make fun of somebody in the party, and then like look at that, they would literally just turn off their mic and probably even leave. Like imagine how they felt. They probably felt like so bad. I was like, dang, like my friends are making fun of me. So it's like when I look back on that, it's like I think to myself, like, how was that even fun? Like that, how was that fun? Like that to me, and that's what I mean in the sense of bad fun, not playing games. Because playing games, if you're out there playing games, that's good fun. If you're playing games, having fun with your friends, man. You're playing with your friends, having fun, playing the game, laughing, having fun. That's good fun. That can be good fun, and that's definitely a lot more innocent than what some people do nowadays when it comes to fun, in the sense of like, going out and partying and doing all that. But there's good sides to things and bad sides to things. Like there can be a bad side to playing games with your friends. There can be a good side to it, and the bad side is like just whether it's like that's cursing or just it is overall not about the game and more about other things. And then there's good fun to it. And another thing I want to touch on is like one thing, especially I guess I would say last year about or whatever. My friends that I my friends, they always like to hang out. After school, they would always hang out, and then especially in the group chat we were in, they would always talk about how fun it was hanging out. Like send pictures like, yo, this was so fun. Like, yo, we could do this again tomorrow. And I never hang out with them, so I always like kind of felt a little bit left out. But now looking back on it, like when I know what they did, it's like, was that really fun they were having? Because to me, it seemed like they would always come to school and talk about how it was fun. They were messing with people out, like ding dong ditching doors or smoking something. And I didn't know that they were doing that until they would come to school and tell people about it. Be like, wow, like that's not fun. That doesn't seem fun at all. And so at the time, I thought, because I didn't know, of course, what they were doing. I just knew that they were after school hanging out with each other, and so I just instantly thought that was fun. And also, I wasn't living in the moment. That's another thing too, is because consistently throughout my whole day, just to simply the fact that they were hanging out after school and I thought that was fun, that was what was taking up my whole brain. Like on a weekend, the whole day I would think about the thought of like how it would feel to hang out with them, because I just thought that was fun. And so now, looking back on it and knowing what they actually were doing that whole time, it really just makes you realize like that's not fun. To me, that's definitely not fun. And so that relates to the topic of people going out there. Nowadays in this generation, like people think fun is just really partying and I don't know, drinking or whatever. And like when you really think about that, like that's to me, like I don't know, it just isn't. That's not fun. And because especially like I said, like I mentioned earlier, that's harming yourself, and I don't think that's fun. And I think fun should definitely, like when you think about fun, you should definitely think about like really what fun is. And I feel like to me now, as I'm getting older and becoming closer and closer with God, like realizing what fun is now is just spending time with my family, man. It's just really just spending time with my family, knowing things about them I didn't even know before, because I was so to myself playing games all day and thinking that was fun. And now it's like really just hanging out with like these two, going to the gym, like that's what's so fun to me. And it's like, it's crazy because I can't even like think about if I like I don't even know how I lived before, of like not of doing what I did and not doing what I do now. I was like, how did I have fun? It's crazy. And it's like now I love what we have here, this bond that we have. This is fun to me, being able to, once again, like I said, go to gym, being able to do this podcast is fun to me. It's it's amazing. It's amazing when you as you grow, how you can really like how you really can separate what really fun is and what like not fun is. And that's why also too, I think we mentioned this before, the spirit of discernment is once again just knowing what is fun and what's not fun, and just like understanding what's good for you and what's bad for you. And yeah, so I think overall, this is not me saying, just to let you guys know, this is not me saying don't hang out with your friends, don't play games, don't do anything, sit on your couch and live a boring life just sitting there, and that's fun. I'm not saying that at all, because you can easily play games with friends or hang out with your friends, but it's about what you're doing is really what hits home, in the sense of like, you know, what is fun and how to have it. So that's my take on the whole topic of this video.
Yeah, I agree with most of the things you were saying, you know, but one thing to take in account is that moderation in everything,
Yep.
like you were saying, moderation in everything and anything, and that can be a topic for a future video. And another thing that you hit on just a little bit is that a lot of people might think that the stuff that we're saying is a boring life, it doesn't sound like a fun life compared to what you're living right now. And one thing I gotta say about that, and ask you a question about that, is if this is a boring life, or since this is such a boring life, you might ask the question, well, when do you get a break? When do you take some time off to have some of this earthly fun? And my answer to that, I'm not perfect. I still struggle, and I still find the desire to find these breaks where I'm not doing anything that would actually improve my life, where I'm just sitting down probably just watching YouTube shorts, you know? And that, to me, coming from my perspective, when I sit back and look on it, it's like that's not really fun. So to answer your question, when do you get a break? I'm gonna ask you another question, is why do you need a break from doing what is truly fun? Because you're just you want a break from what is actually fun, from being present in the moment, just so you can take a break to do things that are of this world, to do things that I still struggle with, to do things that we all still struggle with. That's just something. Now, that's something to mention if you're asking that question, because we're not telling you to live a boring life. As I just said, in moderation, everything is good. Video games can be to your benefit in moderation. Now, that's where you need the spirit of discernment, because smoking should be a no. And I'm not here to judge you if you do smoke, but from my perspective, I wouldn't do it, and you can take that as you would. I would not do that. I wouldn't try to blind myself by saying in moderation this is okay. You need the spirit of discernment to be able to decide that I know this is wrong and I know this is right, and there's no way I can make something that is wrong right just because I'm doing it in moderation. You can't make something wrong right. You can't make something.
You don't want to
yes, you're coping with a bad habit, and as I said, I struggle with this a lot too. Coping is something we all do. We cope a lot, and when we cope so much, we realize that we can't even explain why we do it. We just do it because we just like doing this bad habit so often. We can't explain. If you asked me today, well, why do you? I hear you talking about this, like going on YouTube and just wasting time a lot. Like, so why do you do it? And I'd be like, oh, 'cause I need a break or something. I don't know. I'm just bored, and I just go. Like, that's me coping.
Yeah.
It's a bad habit that I still need to work on. It's like if you asked me, well, why do you eat all this stuff when you want? Like, you talk about sometimes how you don't want to eat dessert so often, and if I asked you, well, why do you do it? That would be you trying to explain, but you wouldn't be able to explain why. And the reason you do it is because you feel that desire to need a break from eating healthy. But we all feel that desire, and that's just evidence for why we're not perfect at all. None three of us here, you aren't perfect either. That we always have these desires for bad things, but we definitely need the spirit of discernment in order to decipher what is right and what is wrong, and we cannot make something wrong right. And when we try to make something that is right wrong, that's where the works of the person down below comes in hand. Like that, a lot of the things that are actually like good for us, we in this world we make them seem like really bad for us, and that's just plain evidence that they're why. But yeah, you know, it's something interesting too. I just read about from an email I get from this Ryan Holiday every day. He talked about how with his interview with Arnold, you say his last name,
Schwarzenegger. Yeah,
that's his name. That Arnold, he gave advice to us that when you wake up, you shouldn't think at all, because when you wake up, you think and you dread the day instantly. You wake up, and this is where you hit the snooze alarm because I want to go back to sleep, something like that. You wake up and you immediately you dread the day. So his advice that I've been trying to implement is wake up and just get moving. Just do it. Get up, go to the sink, cold water, something. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to be cold. Just put water on your face. Get up, brush your teeth. Get up and just get to the gym. You know, because when you're done with the gym, that brain fog is done and you're ready to conquer the day. You don't feel tired. And I notice that a lot. As soon as you wake up, you feel tired and you're like, how the heck can how do I do what I do throughout my day when I'm this tired? But you don't think at all. Just wake up. That's living in the present moment, because you don't want to be thinking while you're waking up. Because immediately when we wake up, we think. So
it's
just don't think. Get to the gym. Take a shower. Praise God. Try not to think too much about what the day has in store for you.
And it's crazy that you mentioned that, because I feel like I talked about this, like off camera, of course, like to one of you guys, something like that. Is like, there's been days where like he would wake me up, and when he'd wake me up, I just be on my bed, just like waking up and thinking about like, oh, dude, I don't feel like brushing my teeth or washing my face or anything. I don't feel like doing anything today. And those are the days when it's so hard for me to get out of bed and start my day. But the days that he wakes me up and I just like, those days when he just wakes me up and I just like, I get out of bed and I go do what I gotta do. Those are the days when I do, like, I don't think about anything. I just do it, and it's like, it's crazy how easy it is. Like, I'll be reading my Bible, and then when I'm done, I'll be like, wait, how do you, like, we'll be on our way to the gym, but how did I even get here? Like, what, I feel like just like a second ago, I was like so tired, I didn't even feel like waking up because I didn't think about it. So it's crazy how, like, that's living in the moment right there, and that's kind of what we're trying to get to, you guys.
And living in the moment is not thinking about something else.
Yeah.
And this is hard, but living in the moment is brushing your teeth and focusing on which teeth you're brushing right now.
Yeah.
That is hard. Because when you're brushing your teeth, you're thinking about something else.
Oh, yeah.
And the funny thing is, too, unless you're thinking about God, which we all should be, but many people who haven't found God, they're actually just thinking negative beliefs about themselves. Yeah. They're like, yo, why does my nose look like why my hair like this today? Yeah. They're thinking about, like, when you didn't invite God into your life yet, and I know I was like this when I didn't have God in my life. You definitely think those negative beliefs about yourself, and then you question, yo, why am I depressed? I need some of these medications to help me, which they're not gonna help you. But Dad, you want to say anything?
Medicine is God.
Yeah, the only medicine is God.
That's true. Only medicine. But as you guys were talking, I was thinking about, as far as like, being present in the moment, which it allows for you to enjoy life better. I think like one example to take is how animals live. Animals are always present in the moment. And I can give you a great example here. We have a better chance of surviving every day. We have a better chance because we have a program that we follow every day. From the moment you're born, you're a part of a program, and it's bestowed in you from the moment you go into school. It kind of gives you longevity. It gives you a purpose. You have all these goals that you wanna meet, whether it's graduating or homework that you got to do. Everything you have that you got to do, it's like it just keeps going, right? It keeps going. So it gives you that ability of knowing that I'm gonna be alive tomorrow. I'm gonna be alive. I'm gonna be alive, right? Animals don't have that. Animals are present in the moment from the moment they're born, and they're quick. Their life is quick. Survivability, you might as well say it's not comparable to ours, because from the moment they're drinking, I saw a video where this cheetah came very, very quietly and to this water, to this river that had water, right? And I guess the cheetah was very thirsty, and the cheetah went and was drinking the water. He wasn't thinking about anything else. He was just drinking the water. And then this alligator came and just, well, you pretty much know what happens after that. The alligator was thinking of something else, but the cheetah was thinking of how good this water tastes. That river water tastes so cold. It's probably so clean. I'm not sure. But they were both present in the moment for two different things. All right.
But I was looking at that cheetah
like this is a meal, and the cheetah was looking at it like, I'm thirsty. So if we take it from that perspective, right? We have doesn't God love you the most? Doesn't God love you the most? He feeds the birds somehow, some way. Every living thing out there, beast, is able to walk, and we have a roof over our head. Well, the majority of us have a roof over our head, but we also have choices to make. I'm over here reading something here. It says over here that things like food, wine, money, etc., are morally neutral. Wine, for example, is neither good nor evil. It's what we do with it that makes it so. All right, it's what you do with it. I was reading in the book of Genesis how Noah, he was in the vineyard, right? And he drank a little bit of that wine, and he got drunk, but he felt good, and he got drunk, and he was laying on the floor naked when one of his sons came and saw him in his nakedness. And that, back then was taken in literally, like that, like being naked was something that you don't really want to see, and it was not likened by many people. It was a sin against God, because that's exactly what Adam and Eve saw when they ate from the forbidden fruit, right? They ate and they saw each other's nakedness, and that was like, whoa, what is that? So when he saw Noah naked like that, it was like, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. But what Noah did, what he did with the wine, he got drunk. And that's how we got to interpret life, right? We have to walk and with the spirit of discernment, and being able to hear the Holy Spirit, actually talk to you and tell you, hey, bro, my spider senses are up. Don't go there. Don't do this. Listen, and you'll go far in life when you listen. And it's all about, maybe some, I like to say, we like to kind of mask everything like common sense. And then we have this saying where sometimes common sense is uncommon. Listen, you want to call it common sense? Listen, I want to call it the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Spirit telling you, because each and every one of us, we have a soul. We're not soulless, right? But that's, if you're listening very well, sometimes you gotta ask God that question. Is this you, or is this me? When I want to eat that dessert, right? Because sometimes I feel like I eat too much of it, and I eat it, right? And I'm like, was that me, or was that God telling me to enjoy that? Like, and maybe it was just me. Maybe it was me. So when you look at it like that, like maybe this is something that I need to, stop doing, because this is something that's just pleasuring me. It's not pleasuring anybody else. It's just pleasuring me. Then maybe I need to look forward to something that's going to help others, in that sense, and not just me. Sometimes we put us before everything else, and we forget that other people do exist, and we're not so conceited and arrogant about it. And we got to try our best to not be not be too proud to admit it, because we should be admitting and holding each other accountable. But if anything, if you guys take anything from all this, I just want to say that I'm not here to tell you what's fun and what's not fun. We all have our own ways of having fun, as long as it ain't hurting anybody, and most importantly, not hurting you and what you have in here, and the connection that you have, right, with yourself and God. Do it. just do it. Don't think, just do it, because you'll enjoy the moment even better that way. You know, that's just my take on that.
And just real quick, just one thing that my brother said is like, if there's one big thing you're taking out of this, you know, we all gave our examples, we all talked about what we think fun is. A big thing, and we will eventually make a video about this, is just make sure you're doing it in moderation. Everything in moderation is good. So
yeah, that's it. Live in the present moment, guys.